Force cage, force wall. Well, we got wall of force here, people. That's what we're starting off with. Let's go. Let's go. We are on. And a little bit late. I'm flying solo tonight. I had to put the kiddos down by myself. And Daddy likes to play, and we do some, got a little carried away. So that's my bad. That's my bad. But it is spell time, baby. It's spell time. So we have 2 spells to showcase tonight. Hydration. That is. There we go. Much needed. Okay. The stream tonight, people, is Wall of Force and Bind, which is hold person. So we lots of hydration. I don't mess around with my hydration, people. You know what I'm saying? Coach Dad, yeah. So I'm going to show these 2 spells, and then we're going to go right into Q&A. Simple as that. Right. We ready? Let's go. And I saw somebody like, I wonder how many dark green. What's the bet on how many dark greens? I haven't even updated that. So genuinely, it's just wrong. It's out of date. We finished 12 more spells today. And then we're having another meeting tomorrow and another meeting the day after that. And you're just going to keep cranking them out. Right. That's the plan right now. And the spells, like, updating the sheet right now is not as efficient. I will update the spell sheet probably Thursday or something. And I'll probably post a picture of it or whatever. Because right now, like, there'll be a category of like water, and like 2 spells will come out, but then there's like a 3rd spell that we're still working on. There's like a few comments left on to kind of polish off. And so that's still light green, so it doesn't look like progress has been made, even though there has been. So I have not updated the color sheet, right? But I will, because that's a good way to show you guys, right? So, but I think everyone would agree y'all would rather me just crank it out, right? You know what I'm saying? Let's go. Missed last week's stream because I was in the hospital fee. Why are you paying fees for that? The hospital already fees you enough, you know what I'm saying? Hospital should pay me a fee, right? I'm fine. Just the plan and procedure. There we go. Okay. Good. I missed last week though. Yeah, Simon. Last week we showcased the first spells ever, and you came back for another one because we're doing it again. Right? So let's go. We are going to jump right in. Where is my? There we go. Wall of Force. You know what I should do here though? I should probably do this. I'm going to duplicate this. Okay. And then I'm going to move this around. So I'll shrink myself here a bit. I'll make this bigger so y'all can see it better. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, there we go. Is that better? That's got to be better. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. So Wall of Force. Here we go. So Wall of Force, and then I'm going to read the super chats. Aegis Virium, 50 super chats. Thank you, Aegis Virium. Wow, dude, that is, I can't say I'm surprised from you doing it, but, we have some people that support in some big ways. So thank you, Aegis. That is awesome. The Wall of Green has arrived. Speaking of an Aegis, or a defense, or a wall. See what I did there? I tried to turn it back around now, right? Wall of Force. Spell list is our arcane, although this should say spell source. Conjuration, ward, 2 action points, 1 mana point. Range of 5 spaces. It's a 1 minute duration, and you sustain this Wall of Force, keeping it up because it is very strong. You create a 2-space wall, 4 space long. So 2 space high, 4 space long wall, shimmering energy within range. DC 15 spell check. Failure, the wall has 2 hit points. Same size. The wall has 2 hit points. Success, the wall has 3 hit points. Or each 5 adds more hit points to this wall. So the wall has an amount of health to it, right? Having it be immune to damage, I don't think is a good for gameplay. We could talk about that. But anyway, so there's your wall. And creatures in the area are pushed to the nearest unoccupied space of their choice. Objects in the area that are not held or carried are moved to either side of the wall. Your choice for each object. Boom, 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 right? It just shunts things to the side. Creatures can choose. And then force field, the wall is translucent and acts as a solid surface, blocking movement, but not sound or light. The wall has resistance 2 to all damage. So keep in mind, yes, the wall comes with a standard 3 HP, but it has resistance 2, like to everything, straight up, right? Resistance 2, meaning if you dealt 2 damage to it, you would have dealt 0 damage, right? So you'd have to deal 3 damage to even deal just 1 damage. You see what I'm saying? To all, and the PD equals your save DC. I think a very creative solution here on DC20, right? So yeah, objects, creatures in air, push away in air space. Translucent acts as a solid surface, blocking movement but not sound or light. There you go. So yeah, if you're asking a question about wind would be, it's a solid surface, so the wind would go over it. It's not going to go through. So force field would block the wind. So there's that. Cool. Now, that is the baseline wall of force. I think it's super cool. I also think one thing to time out, big old timeout. This is an announcement I probably should have made last week. Spoiler alert for anyone who doesn't want to know about spells before I tell you, which I don't know if anybody would want to not hear this. In general, there are some spells that are broken in DC20 with the new 0.10 philosophy and the way we're doing things. Old school thinking. Let me come back to you guys on this. Old school thinking in DC20 was like, oh, if it's a full blown spell, that's 2 action points. That's what our old philosophy was. So if you had like guiding bolt, big single target, boom, right? It was 2 action points, a mana point, and that was like the standard. Heal, a single target heal, 2 action points, 1 mana point. You get the idea. Fireball, 2 action points, 1 mana point. You get the idea. Big time spells, not cantrips, spells was 2 action points. That was dumb in hindsight, looking back, right? Because that is action points are not being accounted for in the correct way of what they should be, right? So action points let you attack things, let you heal things, let you do stuff to things. So the more action points you spend, the more things and creatures and you can affect, right? So in that same logic, from now on in 0.10 and all future spells, if it's a single target spell, buff, heal, damage, it's 1 action point. That's simple as that. If it targets an area, an area of some kind of sphere, a cone, a line, or whatever, it's 2 action points. Done. If it's some sort of area of effect that could possibly affect multiple creatures, 2 action points. If it's a single target, it's 1 action point. Oh my gosh, it's simple. And oh my gosh, it matches up with PD and AD of the concept of the game, right? So that is a good example for something you could see. So the heal spell that heals 1 person, it has 1 action point. Done. Guiding bolt that shoots 1 beam towards 1 thing, 1 action point, right? If it ever is an area of effect, it's 2 action points. If it's ever an AoE heal, 2 action points. You get the idea, right? So there is that big concept there, right? So, and Flame Master, if there ever is a spell that is a single target and you can make a spell enhancement, what do you think the spell enhancement is going to have as a cost on that spell enhancement? Huh? See what I'm saying? 1 AP, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, if it's baseline 1 AP and you change it to AoE for some reason or add an extra target or whatever, it's going to cost 1 AP, blah, 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 you know what I'm saying? So anyway, that is, but in general, the foundation of the spell is going to determine if it's AoE or single target. There's not going to be a lot of spells that are single target and then change to AoE. That's going to be a very specific niche thing, right? Very logical for sure. Venruda, yes. So Wall of Force. There's some spell enhancements. I got carried away here. Sorry. Here we go. We're back. Wall of Force spell enhancements. Wait. Oh, there we go. I can make it big, even bigger. Yeah, y'all can see it better now. Spell enhancements. Again, baseline is 2 AP, 1 MP. You get the idea. 5 spaces, 1 minute sustained. Let's see how we can enhance it. Right. Range. 1 AP, an action point. Repeatable. You can do this multiple times. The range of the spell increases by 5, but you can only do this up to 2 times, right? That was a solution you've seen. I showed last time. The game's already evolving from last week. Last week we showed exactly Optimus. That's another reason why the spells will stay. Single target spells stay single target. AoE spells stay AoE because of that reason, like what you're saying with the 1 MP, you can spend 2 AP on it, or the enhancement might say you cannot spend mana on this. That's another way we can get around that, but that's to come. Also, any super chats I'm going to come back to, I promise. But I want to finish this Wall of Force presentation. So this was the solution to the range problem, because we had it to where it was only once and you can't repeat it. And that felt kind of bad, because if I really want to just a little bit more, so yes, you can do 2. You can do two notches, and that's clean, right? There we go. And then yes, and repeatable 2 is another good. I'm going to make a note of that. That is a good dev team talk. Repeatable 2, right? So that is a good little shorthand there. That's pretty cool little thing you just came up with there. All right, cool. All right, and we're back. And so there's range. Area 1 MP repeatable. Length of the wall increases by 6 spaces, and the height of the wall increases by 2 spaces. Woo, gets bigger. You know what I'm saying? Area. Durable, 1 MP, repeatable. The resistance increases by 1, and the force field has plus 2 HP. Oh my gosh, right? You get the idea, right? So that is harder to kill straight up, and I love that. And I love that the resistance goes up too, right? It's a thick wall, baby. And this is a cool little flavor twist. One-way mirror. Choose one face of the wall to stay translucent, and creatures on the other side can see through it normally, while creatures on that side can see through it normally, but creatures on the other side perceive it as a reflection, right? Sorry. There you go. One-way mirror. There you go. Nice. It's and. It is and. The wall increases by 6 spaces, or it's or. There we go. Okay, I see what you're saying. Or yes. And that's also that. Sorry, when I said it, I just read it. That's also on purpose too, because sometimes you might not want the wall to go higher, or the wall can't go higher, and then be like, well, what if it has the? So you could just have it here and then crank it out, or right, you get the idea, right? And cool, there you go. Can you cast through it? Spells that have sight? No, you can't cast through it. No. But that'd be busted if you could put a wall out nobody can get to you and you shoot out through it. No, it acts as a solid surface. You could shoot through it, you could shoot it and you would break it, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, there's that. Another thing I want to say with DC20 is, because spell enhancements, we can take a spell and dial it down to a baby version of the spell, right? If you compare Wall of Force in DC20 to Force Wall of Force in 5e, whatever it's called. If you compare the two, D&D's is stronger because it's using a higher spell slot and you're locked into using it at that strength. In DC20, you can actually use it at a weaker point, which means you can use it earlier at lower levels and purposely use it at a weaker point and not spend as much mana on it because you don't want to, right? Or you could spend a ton of mana and really make it into something big, you know what I'm saying? A thick wall, right? Thick wall. So there's that. Now, there's Wall of Force. Next up is Bind. Bind. And I'm gonna I will get back to the Nemgard. I'm sorry. Princess Bride. Sad Face is a classic. You just have to, or did I miss it? I have not seen Princess Bride. I showed my kids the trailer and we attempted it, and they were like, I don't like it. It is definitely not for 3 and 5 year olds as far as attention span goes. It is old school, right? But I will have to do that without the kids now, and just have to do it on my own end, right? And then there we go. Next up, and I'll get to all the super chats like I said. So next up, Bind, Arcane Divine Primal. Everything is a hold person essentially, right? Jedi Force freeze, hold them in place, right? You bind a creature within range. Again, 1 action point, single creature, 1 mana point. You'll see. 10 space range, lasts for 1 minute. You bind a creature within range. Make a spell check contested by the repeated might save. Repeated might save means they get another free check at the end of each of their turns, right? So if they fail it, they're not screwed and they're just stuck there for a minute. That would be terrible. Anyway, and then check success. The target is immobilized Immobilized is essentially grappled, like they can't move. Oh, my wife just texted me. Is she back? I just landed. Okay, she just landed. She's on the way back. It's nice. Okay. The target's immobilized, so it's a grapple in one spot. They can still move. They could still attack, but this is the baby version. They are stopped in that spot. But wait, there's more. Right? Spell enhancements. Check this out. One action point repeatable, increase the spell's range. So you can increase it up to 15 or 20. That's standard. Restrain, one additional mana point. On the success, the target's restrained instead. So not only are they immobilized, but they're also restrained, right? And then constrict. This comes the dark side of the force. XMP, y'all get the idea with how much that is. You spend more, you get more. And it adds sustained onto it. It makes the spell sustained if you choose to add this on there. And once per round, when you sustain the spell, or by spending an action point, you can make a spell attack against the target's AD, and they take X true damage. And you are like crushing them, right? I think that's wild. So cool. And you can deal more damage to them. So it is you can only do it once, right? You can only do it once. Then you could do it immediately, which is why you could spend an action point, right? So, but you also could do it as far as the action points go for free. You'd have to spend mana to do it, right? But you can cause them to just crush them, right? I find your lack of faith disturbing. Yeah, so that's super cool. And then bleeding. What's up, bleeding? What's bleeding? Is the bleeding tag a hold? Oh, the bleeding tag. Yes, the bleeding tag is a holdover. That's funny that you caught that. Good catch. The bleeding tag is a holdover because this constrict used to be when my devs first pitched it to me. It was like a bleed mechanic. And I was like, that's not the vibe of the spell. No. And we started talking about it. I was like, oh my gosh, this would be like a crush them thing. And yeah, there we are. Now we're true damage. So heck yeah, Vecna. Yeah. Lingering bind. Another 1 MP. Instead of a save being repeated once on each of their turns, the target can spend 1 AP to attempt the save. So now, very interestingly, it gates the save behind them having to spend an action point for it, but they can do it once per round. You get the idea, right? So it makes that repeated a cost, and it turns into more of a stun. But this, again, if you think of hold person compared to D&D, hold person, what's the gameplay? Hold person, that creature doesn't get a turn. Now the game master doesn't get a turn, or if the game master uses that spell on a player, now the player, hold person, oh, you don't get a turn. There is nuance to this. There is play, there's outplay, there's crushing, there's so much more going on here. So, and that's what we're all about here, is fun. Just trying to have some fun, right? So there we go. Ha. Oh man, Wheeler. Wheeler has a super chat. Wheeler says, I've never liked the repeated save mechanic in RPGs, but I'm willing to have my mind changed. Here's why I feel like repeated saves are mandatory. Example, let me go into a rant real quick here, right? One of my players cast command on a player and said, shake my hand. And so they had to follow the command to shake my hand, and they will continue to try and shake the hand until the command's done or whatever. And then the other players restrained them, very peacefully restrained them from being able to shake the hand. And he just kept his hand just barely outside, and they walked around, they like stun locked the thing. Or, and a separate gameplay mechanic, is if you're just polymorphed. Has any game master ever just had one of their monsters be polymorphed? And then you're just polymorphed? And you sit there polymorphed. Is that fun for any side of the day? That's crazy. Where an effect just happens and there's no way to wiggle out of it. Insanity is what I'm saying. And also not as fun, right? Polymorph ends the fight, right? Now, in DC20 Polymorph, you polymorph them, and it's a repeated save against the save DC. And they can give themselves advantage on the roll through the other rules of DC20. You can always spend an action point to give yourself advantage. And they could give themselves advantage on the check. The same thing's true for players. If a player is screwed by a mechanic, they're not just like, sorry, you're polymorphed for the next minute. Are you kidding me? That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. That is my little spiel on repeated saves. But I would also say that just watching out for that through actual gameplay, you'll see some other things as well. It'll probably like, this kind of maybe feels bad, but we'll see. So let me answer the rest of the questions. There's those 2 spells, more spells to come, and I'm excited. Also, Patreon live stream tomorrow is we're going over some gravity spells and the weapon spells, the weapon buffing spells, and we're gonna hopefully finish off some of those. So heck yeah. And yeah, you'll see. And next week, I can't wait to see where we're at, because really, as far as live streams go, the public live streams, next week's live stream is the 16th, which is the live stream before the final live stream before Christmas on the 23rd. And we're going to see what's popping on the 23rd is what I'm going to say. So we'll see where things are at, because we'll be down to the wire. We'll be 2 days out from shipping the thing, right? So 0.10 that is. All right, so where are we at? Shout out to a DC20 YouTuber and a strong member of this community, Jekyll Geek. You are awesome person of the week. And Liam, you're awesome because you've done the awesome person of the week so much, you can now abbreviate APW, and everyone knows what it means. Well done, Liam. And then Jeff Chambers, thank you for the 10 gifts memberships. Thank you, brother. As usual, come in with the shades. I see you, man. And then I got my Peach and Bowser DC20 build video out. Oh, Agent MM. Peach and Bowser DC20 build video. Hold up. What? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Carter. This is interesting. I have never had to do this during stream before, but my son is yelling, I have to go poop, I think. Yep. He's yelling, I need to go poop. So I will be right back, because that is interesting. In fact, and here's what I'll do. Hold up. I'm coming, buddy. So my poor little guy. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I have an idea. Here we go. It's it for entertainment. DC20 Peach and Bowser. Where are we at? Oh my gosh. Check this out. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna move this up. We're gonna move this here. We're gonna go to here. And let's see. Can y'all hear it? Can y'all hear it? Can y'all hear it? Yep. Okay. Okay. Finally. I've not seen this video, but now we can all watch together.
Princess Peach has been introduced as the archetypical damsel in distress. While some would say that Nintendo has gone woke by making her a girl boss with pants, she was playable in the immediate next game she was in. Yes, Doki Doki Panic, I know. But this translated to Princess Toadstool becoming this strong, no-nonsense action heroine alongside the bros, only to soften up in later games. So, one game, damsel, another game, heroine. Perfectly balanced, and she even got a lead role in 2 games. Eat your heart piece out, Zelda. So for our Mario-themed DC20 campaign, we need her on the party. Oh, right, what's DC20? Did you not see our previous video? DC20 is a TTRPG currently in beta created by the YouTuber Dungeon Coach, hence the name of the game. The game promises faster, more engaging combat, more meaningful choices, and varied and viable character customization. Today we're going to continue our level 4 characters from the Mario franchise using 0.9.5 rules. Now I could just go monk again, but I want to build her to capture her magical powers. Some of these powers are explained with a new helper character.
Okay, we're back.
Others are unexplained.
What are we thinking?
So the obvious magic class for someone who can sing, dance, and host elegant parties
Bard?
is the Bard.
Hey.
Great, because the Bard's spell list is restricted to supportive spells like heal and sleep.
There you go. That's cool. Now, I want to find, okay, there's Peach. I want to find Bowser. Oh, Toad? Toad's a monk? Ah.
Story plus Bowser Jr.'s journey, let him be actually playable. So why not play as him in DC20?
This is cool. Okay. Okay, I turn the volume up some. Okay. Volume's maxed out now. But right now my 3-year-old is sitting on the potty, and I just want to come back in here real quick. So then we'll skip to Bowser real quick.
Not to leave you in suspense, but we're making Bowser
Well done on the editing.
Ancestries. His Ming is maxed, his int is in, and his car is followed by his Zhu. Only using skill proficiencies in athletics and intimidation.
Nice. Okay.
That last one is important because we're getting the Dragonborn.
I'll be right back. I want to watch this.
Superiority, which I assume works on Koopas. Speaking of, the Dragonborn ancestry is all about breathing fire, natural defense, guardian loyalty, and dark vision. While Beastborn, as you know, is everything that makes a wild animal. I can see this being a popular combination. First, we need an elemental or mystical damage type to be his draconic damage type. Obviously, fire! Second, we pick Draconic Breath, the area of effective attack dealing fire damage. We can pick a cone or a line or direct it to a single target for more damage. It's great, but the issue is that he can only do this once for a long rest. Not the best, but since he is a barbarian, he wouldn't normally have an attack like this. Then there's natural weapons from the Beastborn, giving him claws and a spiked tail. And to further increase his bulk, we'll give him thick skin to increase his AD. He can then get hard shell to further increase his AD, but now lower his speed by 1. This trait comes with a bonus of being unable to be flanked, which is when one or more foe surrounds you, and then they get +2 attack bonus to hit. We'll then look at Barbarian's big feature, Rage. He can spend 1 action point and 1 stamina point to enter Rage for 1 minute. While in Rage, he deals 1 more damage with all melee weapons, including his natural ones. He gets resistance to all physical and elemental damage types, meaning he halves the damage, but then he also loses IPD. Bowser tends to be overconfident in his battles, leaving him open to attacks for Mario to exploit. With a lower PD, he's more likely to get heavy hit, but then that damage is halved anyway. And to make this better, he will regain his stamina whenever he heavy hits a foe, or a foe heavy hits him back. This downside can be an upside, and to add to the power, Berserker is a feature that gives him a few passive buffs similar to the Monk's training, with Charge! Not to be confused with the Beastborn trait, lets him move 2 spaces towards a foe as part of a melee weapon attack, closing the distance. Then, because he can't wear armor with that shell, he gets 2 more AD and +1 speed. We're back to 5 speed now. He gets to use his might instead of agility for jump distance and fall damage. Bowser has been surprisingly good at jumping since the first game, so this is good too. And for his flavor feature, Shatter Force. Bowser gets an automatic crit on any inanimate objects or structure. Unless the GM has planned the HP of every object in the scene, this means he can just break anything, punch through blocks, destroy castles, accidentally break bridges and glass so that you fall into lava. It's epic! By the way, one of the Dragonborn ancestry traits we could have given him was fire resistance. But he already gets that and many more with rage, so make sure that you are angry when this tragedy inevitably happens. So Bowser doesn't regularly use weapons, so I had to do some digging. For the mandatory ranged weapons, I picked the throwing hammers, because he used those in the first game. Then there's this huge hammer from Skylander Supercharged. Man, look at that. Man, that's so cool. And then I guess he had his own plunger weapon he stole from Mario in the same cartoon that Mario got the Plumber Snake. However, we do have natural weapons that deal slashing or piercing damage, but not bludgeoning, i.e. just punching. So let's break convention and give him a fist weapon. We can pretend it's his wrist brace that amplifies his punching power. This weapon counts as a free hand and deals 1 bludgeoning damage, unlike an unarmed strike. We will give it the impact and guard property. So he wears this weapon on his left hand, and then his claw attack is on his right hand. While in rage, that's 2 attacks dealing 2 damage with no multiple action penalty. Here's one way we can avoid giving him just 2 fist weapons. Oh right, maneuvers! Here they are on the screen. Look at them all. Yeah! And the last thing we need to discuss is trades. Since he doesn't have trade expertise, we can spend 3 trade points on vehicle. not just because of Mario Kart, but because of his airships and flying clown copter that he rides in many of the mainline games. That would be it, but I saved a skill point to convert into 2 more trade points. Why? Well, there's 2 trades we now need. First, thanks to the new Mario Galaxy trailer, we've got to get Illustrator. Bowser! And second, he's got to get Musician. Did you forget Bowser's hit single, Peaches? That's not it. No, come on, how did you forget?
Peach, you're so cool.
Yeah, that's the one. Now stop playing it so that we don't get copyright claim.
Peach.
Okay, level 2 time. Barbarian's level 2 feature is Battle Cry. He spends 1 stamina point to give himself and all his allies a boost. All of these effects disappear at the start of his next turn. Fury Shout will boost the damage of their next attack by 1. Urgent Shout will boost their speed by 1. And Fortify Shout basically reduces the damage of the next immediate attack by 1. It is weird that the Soul Carry Fighter has a support ability, but 1, he gets the boost too, and 2, this balances out his kit to provide a potential team leader role. Side tangent, I honestly think that the Monk was the one martial class without any team play capability outside of maneuvers and techniques, but those can be combined with both stances and key actions, as we've seen in our Toad build. Plus, a Monk in one of my games ended the encounter by delivering the Monk. So their mobility is also their team playing ability. As for Bowser, this is a way to embody his role as a
Okay, we're back. Okay. All right. There we go. I am now putting that video on my watch later list. Right. So watch later. Cool. Cool. I will be watching that later. Yeah. So Agent MM. There you go. Dude, only 27,000 subscribers, bro. What? I just subscribed. That's crazy. That's crazy. He's got Mario Luigi. Look at this. Hold up. Look at this. He's got Mario Luigi. Zoom in on this. Mario Luigi. He's got Toadin Party. I don't know what Toadin Parties is. Great thumbnails too. Really great thumbnails. Okay, cool. All right. That's awesome, man. Make sure you are on the DC20 influencer program too, because I'll get you hooked up with all that kind of stuff as well. Right. Well, email me, man, for real. Anyway, so I should be an official content creator. As soon as you make any video for DC20, you're an official content creator. So yeah, absolutely, dude. All right. Anyway, that was cool. Thanks, honestly, for giving everyone something to do while I had to have my son poop, and he just loves to he has very relaxing poops. He just sits there, and I'm like, come on, buddy. There's some people waiting. Anyway, so thank you guys for that. And then Snack Official Duck. I missed the stream feed for last week. Will Magic Missile target AD since it doesn't miss type of spell? Magic Missile is in the game. It is called Destruction Bolt, and it's not going to auto hit. And there is a way to target AD, and there is a way for it to do homing, is what I'll say for that. There's your sneak peek, Snack Official Duck. I do not think auto hitting is healthy for a game. It was in the game for a while, and it's bad. It's not, so there's that. But yeah, there's a little sneak peek for you. And then Liam, shameless plug, over the last week, I had the honor of beta testing DC20 It's just an amazing resource, and the dev is very responsive, fixing bugs and fast as you fix. Oh, that would be Liam. You play testing something and how passionate you are about stuff. You'd be a great play tester for anything. So that's awesome. You should all become patrons. Yeah, DC Forge or DC20 Forge is. I think he calls it DC Forge, maybe DC20 Forge. I don't know. It's one of those two. But yeah, I've been talking with him, and he's gotten a early access of .10. He's starting to update DC Forge B.10 as well. So heck yeah, he's one of the squad, part of the squad. Dyrick, Back in my EverQuest days, there were 3 healers: cleric with cure wounds, druid with regens, and shaman with wards. Will there be ward spells? Yes. These wards could be temp HP type spells, but I'm curious. Direk, oh my gosh, you should see the protection spells. I organize the protection spells by source to where Arcane has a certain type of protection of how you would protect people. Primal has a certain type of protection, how you protect people, and Divine has a certain type. And they all work a little differently. And then there's healing. There's heal over times. There's instant heals. There's a chain heal. There is absolutely temp HP type of shielding. Yes, there's multiple different ways to protect people, and that changes based on your class and based on your access, what spells you have access to, what source they come from, what school they are, all that stuff. So lots of different ways to protect and feel different when you do it. Yes. Love that, Derek. And then Simon, is there room for more enhancements on spells later? Absolutely. By no means are these spells like done. You know what I'm saying? If we have a cool idea, we will add to it. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. And then Moonreaver, Wall of Force, you said sound light can pass through it. Would you allow for sound or light based attacks to pass through it? Interesting. In general, I would say no. Sound based attack, there's no longer sonic damage, but that would be a very specific thing. That's interesting, because there could be a spell that is straight sound, and if there was a spell that was like sound to deafen you, I would say that could pass through the force because it's sound. But as far as light, I don't. Interesting that light. That's interesting. My answer, the intent is no, right? But that's another good point to bring up. I'm gonna say light and sound passing through a force wall. Radiant spells. Hello. Yeah. So very good call. Very good call. Moonriva. And then Jekko Geek. Last patron live stream, you said the guidance spell was going away. How has the blessing changed to compensate for that? How is the blessing changing? How is bless changing? Bless is have not. We actually talked about bless today, so I don't want to say anything about bless right now. Currently, Bless is working pretty much the same as it is currently, but I really do like where Bless is at. But the guidance is going to be looked at as a way magical help, and how that looks is what we're going to kind of be experimenting with and kind of playing around with, right? So yeah, that's still the where guidance is right now. Guidance probably won't be in 0.10. It might be in 0.10.5 though, or obviously the future of the game. I want to have some sort of help type spell to fill in that gap, right? So Elaine Tricand. Repeatable 2 could be hard to decipher for new players. Consider repeatable twice as a shorter but clearer phrasing. Yeah, that actually is one of my concerns of like repeatable 2, repeatable 2x is what I wrote whenever I wrote the note for it. Repeatable times 2, repeatable x2, right? That's kind of what I was gonna say the shorthand would be. But yeah, absolutely. I want clarity over, I would hate to like try and be so efficient that we're not as clear, right? So heck yeah. And then Almighty Wumbo. How does choosing spells work with the spellcaster path? Example, if a wizard chooses Druid Domain at level 2, would you choose from Arcane Primal or whatever spell you want? That is now that's interesting. You gain new spells from your spell list. So you gaining spells when you take a talent, those are actually separate. Those are actually separate completely. So yeah. I can answer that question. There used to be a thing back in like .5 or 7 where depending on the class you took from, you would learn spells from that class. That is too convoluted. Basically, you have a spell list. There are other ways you can expand that spell list that you start off with. Absolutely. There are other ways to do that. That other things you can pick up and stuff. But when you learn spells, it's from your spell list. Period. If you're a wizard and you pick up from a druid, you pick up from a cleric, you could pick up from you could spend your talent on a barbarian. It doesn't matter. You learn 2 more spells from your spell list. You know what I'm saying? If you want to spend that talent and go open expand your spell list, you can. And there's absolutely things you can spend talent points on to not only expand your spell list, but also add new spells at the same time. So that would further accomplish your goal of what you're looking for there, right? So there's that question. And yeah, that's as much as I'll say to that one, because I'm trying to get caught up here. I was about to go on a ramble more about that, right? Can you explain lingering bind more? I don't get it. Okay. Kekusunku. Kesukekun. Kesukekun. Did I say that right? So lingering bind, when you have a repeated save, it's automatically at the end of their turn, they get to make the repeated save. So let's say they're restrained. They're fully restrained, right? So they're restrained, and they have to, at the end of their turn, they don't have to spend action points on it. They can, at the end of their turn, they can, for free, make a check to try and see if it wears off or not, right? If they can break free from it. What lingering bind does is it changes that rule and says, no, you don't get it for free now. You have to spend 1 action point. So it removes the repeated save, but still gives them an option to once per round spend an action point to try and get out, is what that is, right? Hopefully that makes sense. Vapor Light, can you show 1 enchantment spell from this stream? 1 enchantment spell. 1 enchantment spell. Here's what I'll do. I'm going to Vapora. I see Vapora. I'm going to go to the patron. Yeah, I'm going to go to the patron where the early access spells are. I'm going to look at those and see if there's an enchantment spell in there. And we'll see. So we got Entangle, Oil Slick, Quicksand, Earth's Blessing, Celestial. I don't think there's going to be one. Lightning Cloud, Gust, Wind Blessing, Tidal Wall. All right. So then what if I do this? What if I do Oh, it's lagging hard. Oh, interesting. There's 29 sources of invisibility. All right. Well, maybe I can search for it over here. Transformation, illusion. Oh, that would be enchant. Oh, see, you're talking enchantment, not illusion. Enchantment. Let's see if there's an easy enchantment one I'm comfortable showcasing here. Enchantment, charm, command. Yeah. Okay. No. Dominate. Fear. Zone of truth. Alter emotions. Confusion, blind rage. Okay, I think the one I can show, the little sneakity peekity, is charm. How charming. What about this? Charm, right? This is straight up from this is from the master document. So there you go. Props to Vapor Light. But yeah, there's charm. This is the unedited, uncleaned up version of where charm's at right now. But choose a non-hostile creature, make a spell check against their charisma save. They are charmed by you, or until they take damage. When the spell effect ends, the creature realizes you were charmed by you. But you can spend spell enhancements to be able to target hostile creatures and be able to make it to where they did not know you cast magic on them, increasing the range of it. And then mass charm. Instead of you charm each creature within choice that the aura can hear you. So it adds an action point and a mana point, both, right? And this also showcases something else. The cost of the enhancement is doubled. The action point cost of this enchantment cannot be paid for with MP. That's another way we do that right there. So there you go. Boom. There you go, Vapora. Y'all got 3 this turn. Oh my gosh, look at that. Nicely done. And then I also did that because I do feel bad for having to have left and then came back. So there you go. Sneid Hamzaif. Syed Hamzaif. Zasif. Saeed Hamzaif. Got it. Hey coach, will you add grab to Commander's Call? Oh, interesting. Also, does DC20 mean that it was difficulty class of 20 for you to make a game and it turned your life around. Hey, let's go. That's cool. The difficulty that make this game is a 20, but if you hit it, it'll turn your life around. Absolutely. That's really cool, man. I love that. I'm not gonna forget that. That's really cool. I love that. Okay, so then grab. That's another interesting. Y'all are full of some good ideas tonight. Grab is an interesting one. Grab. Add to commander's call at level 5. I see that as a level 5 enhancement for the commander. So stay tuned for that. So that's really cool. Nicely done. Sean Markham, an option to force wall opaque instead of mirror. Opaque. Interesting. I mean, I'd be fine with opaque or mirror. Opaque or mirror on force wall. Right? So many ideas tonight. Look at you guys. Yeah, so that's really cool. I see you, Sean. Yeah, I mean, there's no real difference there as far as it's more of an RP use, and if it expands the RP use and you get to choose if it's opaque or mirror, then cool. What if instead of repeated saves, it's a contest every turn between the caster and their victim? That's the reason why I don't like that, Wheeler. It just gets you in my head there, is that slows the game down more. One, it's both of you, and they're both adding the checks, and it's another contest. And then it takes, it actually in some ways might be worse because you rolling a dice and making a check for it, you're probably going to roll higher on average than your save DC. It's actually another reason why I like repeated saves is the first save is against the check, which the person casting the spell has a higher chance to beat you, right? They could give advantage to the check. They could have some extra stuff going into it. They could be a sorcerer with a +5 overload going into it, all that stuff, right? That first check, in general, you'll probably lose, right? But then on the repeated saves, that's good. You are going against their save DC. That's good. That's part of the safety net of that, of why it's also good, is if you have a sorcerer that's overloaded and, you're not making that save. You're not going to beat them in a check. You know what I'm saying? There's no way. They'd have to roll in that one. You know what I'm saying? So it makes it more consistent it gives you a bar to be able to go over and beat in that way as well. So there's some more insights there, Wheeler. Jekyll Geek, there was a misunderstanding. I was asking if Cleric Blessing was changing to make... Oh, yes, it is. Will clerics get a reactive defensive spell? Yes. There is a spell that's going to be a reactive defensive spell, and it's a divine coded spell called Divine Protection, and it's basically the protect maneuver but spell version with a way different enhancements, right? So yeah, it's gonna be sick. So yes, and then Cleric Blessing is much stronger. I'll say that. Cleric Blessing, the guidance option for Cleric's Blessing class feature got buffed. I'll let you say that, right? So just stay tuned. And then Liam, with cantrips no longer a thing, what happens to the Warlock Pact cantrip? Yes, Warlock Pact cantrip is called Pact Spell, and you have a list of it's basically spell attacks, spells that have a bolt tag or they strike. No, there's a tag for it, but it's unchanged and unfazed. But yes, that's been taken care of. Speaking of Warlock, what does Find Familiar look like now? Find Familiar looks pretty similar, honestly. Find Familiar was in a pretty good place already. It was one of the later spells added. If you didn't know, there was a few spells they were added to the game in a second batch whenever other classes were released, like Druid and Bard were released, and there was more spells released with them. Those spells were in a better state because more time had gone on than the original ones, right? And then speaking of Find Familiar, will DC20 have a pet companion system as a general rule that pets fall under? In general, I'm going to say no to that because of the Beastmaster / Tamer class that has not yet been released. That is going to be its own thing and have its own system for like a combat pet. There could be general rules for pets, but they would not be in the core rules. They would be in the advanced gameplay guide for something like that, like a pet system, advanced gameplay guide, to be able to have pets and how you would handle that, and like advice to game masters on how to handle pets at a table. That's how that would work. So there's that. Cool. So Now, with a spell showcase and me leaving and then showing a third spell and then coming back and caught up with all the super chats, we're already at the end of the stream, and I actually would go into further overtime, but my wife's going to be getting back from the airport, and I'm going to have to take care of that. And I still don't know if my kid's even asleep right now. So anyway, say something in the chat, people. Say something in the chat. Next week, I am going to show damage spells. I'm going to show a damage spell for sure. And I'm going to show maybe the fly spell. I'm going to show maybe bless. I'm going to show maybe who knows, right? That's the plan. And then let me see what else I got here. Anything else? Okay, we got that. We checked that out. And then let me see what else is going on here. There we go. Hey, Agent went from 27 subscribers to 42 subscribers. Let's go. Almost double the subscribers, man. That's cool. That's cool, man. Go show them some love, guys. And then, yep, that's the thing. This live stream, this is going to be a copy. I did the thing. Oh, nice. Copy of DC20 and the Monster Starter Pack, which is also about to get updated as well. And the Monster Collection's coming out soon. What? Free copy of that, and if you already back the Kickstarter, you get even more stuff. I've been sending adding free hardcover books, free dice, free action trackers to people who win this thing. We do it every week. It's just fun. Winner. Oh, it's in all caps. I don't know if Nightbot would allow me to do all caps. Winner, here it comes. Monster something. Nightbot, here it is. The winner is Mastanvix, who subscribes to this channel. Let's go, Mastanvix. Let's go. Who doesn't love free stuff? Exactly. Go, Mastanvix, huh? Go to Discord. Message a moderator on Discord. They'll get you set up and let them know if you back the Kickstarter, if you didn't, if you have a copy, if you don't have a copy, we'll get you some free stuff, man. Congrats, bro. Congrats. Nice. So next week, literally next week is going to be the final spell showcase, and then the week after that is the 23rd. I think I'm going to do a live stream on the 23rd. I think that's far enough out from Christmas to still be okay. I'll check with the boss, you know what I'm saying, the wife, and then give y'all you'll really see an update, and I'll make sure I have the color coded block. I'll have that color coded block for you next week as well. Let's go. But now it's back to some more spells and checking on the wife and checking on the kid. Thanks for hanging out. Stay creative. Take us out of the box. Peace.